So welcome everyone to call number 8 out of 10 with the 9Trannies series. And I am, as every single call, so happy to be with you on this series and in this space of the 9Trannies. Again, always surprised of the energies that present themselves with the 9Tranny that shows up. But how are you all? How are your bodies? How are your universes? Spaces and places in between each molecule. One of the things I would like to acknowledge is that we are in the midst of so much change. I guess we always have been, but I've attended a couple of the last recent classes, and it's just like explosion of new possibilities and spaces after another, after another, after another. So again, just reminding all of us of this space of change and the speed of change that we're in the midst, reminding each and every one of us to have that generosity and kindness with us and our bodies. Reminding all of us that something that's come back into the manuals of access has been, asking our bodies if sepia or rescue remedy would contribute. So as you have so much change, and if you require more ease, maybe ask your body if it would like some of that. And I also see here in the notes, I had a big exercise of being at the ranch at Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider. Wow, yeah. If you guys haven't explored Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider, talk about another just invitation to space and being. Yeah, you're right, that you wouldn't expect. And it comes in a way that can show up very intense or just in so many different ways. The gift of a horse, definitely. Okay, call number 8. It's so interesting because I've already picked the tranny and I was kind of looking at some notes, but there seems to be another energy here first. So okay, so would you all be will you destroy all the PRs and NORs and NOR slimes you have about the 9Trannies and you being the 9Trannies? Cool. So everything that doesn't allow that times I got done with destroy 9, create it all. Yep. Right and wrong, good and bad, pan puck, all 9 shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. Yeah, it's like yeah, and everywhere we have that, we have to define or figure out the space of us, the gift of us, the magic of us. Will you destroy and create all that? Right and wrong, good and bad, pan puck, all 9 shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. I'm curious, what has you, Simone, on the chat ask about the judgment process?
Judgment process, meaning process, sometimes I'm mixing them up. I was just like, how much is there in a secret agenda that we're not even aware of, where we have the answers, what it is, that doesn't allow us to really, perceive, receive beyond what the mind ever can fathom.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So let's go with the meaning process and see what that brings up. So just a reminder, I always find it, I'm so grateful, like in some of the classes that Dane does, sometimes like in the intro classes where he's speaking to an audience that is quote unquote new to the tools, there's moments where he explains a tool that I've known for a long time, or there's just a different space to receive it. And I'm so grateful for that. So many of you probably already know this meaning process, have heard of it. But it's like the willingness to go where, what and where can you receive now that you haven't been able to receive before, that we could possibly just unlock even more. Cool. So what does the 9Trannies mean to you all? To you? Huh. Less charged than I thought. Cool. Everything that is, we destroy and create it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. What else does 9Trannies mean to you? Okay, so everything that is, will you destroy and create it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. In the gift of asking the same question a couple times, it's interesting because it's almost like where, you know, someone asks you a question, that surface answer comes up, you know, like the right answer or the axis answer. And then when you ask again, it's kind of like, oh, wait, there's something else there. So let's go again. So truth, what does 9 trannies mean to you? Okay. So everything that is, we just try and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. And what do you mean to the 9 trannies? Okay, everything that is, we just try and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. Okay, and what else do you mean to the 9 trannies? Cool, everything that is, we just try and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyond. And what does sex with the 9 trannies mean to you? It's always amazing to see how much energy gets brought up when you mention sex. What do you mean? How do I have sex with 9 trannies? So everything that is, just trying to create it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. And what does sex with you mean to 9 trannies? Everything that is, we're just trying to create it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. So if you do go blank or there's a sense like, I don't know, keep going. And I'd invite you to drop your barriers. There's this, so I was just facilitating a 3-day body class and some other classes here in Bogota, Colombia. And one of the things that had popped that I had forgotten about is there's moments where we have this awareness that yes, we're dropping our barriers. Yes, there's more space. But now I'm going to invite you, as weird as it sounds, but try it. And I think I heard this from Shannon, mentioned it one time in an exercise she was doing, but she goes, all relax your asshole. Like relax it, expand it. Yeah. And there's something about that for me that one allows me to be in my body more, and two, that it's almost like this uncontrollable space where like I don't allow as much to go up. I can't. It's almost like I can't bring up the walls if I'm relaxing my asshole. So give it a try and see what it contributes to you and your body. So go through them one more time, and see if it changes, and keep that relaxation. Drop your barriers, expand. Yep. What does 9 trannies mean to you? Everything that is, we just trying to create it all. Well, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. And what do you mean to 9 trannies? Keep relaxing. Yep. And again, it's not cognitive. So if nothing's coming to your brain, that's okay. And everything that is, we just trying to create it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. And what does sex with 9 trannies mean to you? Everything that is, well, you just trying to create it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. Keep relaxing, yeah. And what does sex with you mean to 9 trannies? And everything that is, we just trying to create it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyond. And what are you avoiding and defending regarding the 9 trannies? Everything that is and everything that brings up, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. And what are you avoiding and defending and hiding in regard to the 9 trannies? Okay, everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Add a little more charge. Yes, that hiding. Right and wrong, good and bad, fun, fuck, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. And notice physically where you go to kind of squeeze, relax, and one more time. Because if we're hiding something, there's that sense of we're going to do everything we can for it not to show up, to notice, to know, to be aware of, to perceive. So it's like, all right, what if this is just for you for now? So what are you avoiding, defending, and hiding in regards to the 9 trannies? So everything that is and everything that brings up, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pan, pak, all 9 shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. Cool. That was a different way to start the call today. Cool. All right. And I see we got a couple hands up. And before they go up, dun, 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 today's tranny is transfiguration. It is the ability to change the way something looks to something different. Cool. So let's see, Hope. What's your question?
Well, of course, now it just exploded. Well, first off, when you were doing the meaning process, I forget which question it was. Maybe it was, what do the 9 trannies mean to me?
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that popped was actually like where I still have them as an impossibility.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering if we could talk about that. I was like, shit.
Yeah. So how many presumptives realities do you all have that something beyond this reality, like the 9 trannies, are impossible? So everything that is and everything that brings up, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pan, pak, all 9 shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. And is that part of the AIs? Is that part of that energy to actually keep you from being them because they seem so impossible? So everything you've aligned and agreed, resisted or reacted, everything you invented, adopted, all those PRs, NORs, and NORs slimes in regards to the 9 trannies, will you now? Yeah. It's almost like revoke, recant, rescind, resign, destroy, revoke, recant, rescind,
Reclaim, renounce,
renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all of those for all eternity, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pan, pak, all 9 shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's so cool because I was looking, man, so I have an insurance claim against me right now from a car accident I got into, like, it's like 4 years ago now. They like just filed. And so I just got like this huge questionnaire. And it's like all these, and like, anyway, it's so crazy to me. And there's a similar energy here. This is why I'm sharing this, but because I go, as I'm looking at the interrogation questions from the other people's attorney, and it's just simple things like list all the addresses you've been at, but like, I'm still registered up in Washington, but I've been in LA. So it's like all that shit of like, I'm going to get caught. I'm going to get found out. And it's been this, God, today, especially, I've been looking at how much I was raised with this like protection that I know I asked a question about in the abuse class, but like that, sorry, let me put all these together. There was like an almost an energy of like where we're keeping these things that are actually our capacities out in the impossible to keep us in what we've decided is a safe space, not acknowledging like that this is actually what we be. Mm-hmm. But we're like, does that make sense? There's a similar energy there when I said this is impossible, with how I've been looking at like, oh my God, because it's been crazy. Sorry, I'm talking so fast.
So let me ask you this, and it's interesting because this was something that popped for me before we got on the call. But let me ask you this, all of you, and just perceive no right or wrong, but which one's lighter for you? So truth, are you living in contextual reality, non-contextual reality, or non-contextual universe?
Non-contextual universe actually has the most energy on it.
Cool.
I don't actually know what that is, but
yeah, cool. And okay, but notice, so when you are reading this form and looking at this, where do you go? Are you going to the
contextual reality? Absolutely. Yeah. It's like the smallest variation of not even me. I was gonna say what I can be, but it's not even me. Yeah.
Yeah. So everything that is, and everywhere in all the AIs that are pulling you to go to the contextual reality. Yeah. Will you now destroy and uncreate all that for all eternity? Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 shorts, boys, povats, and beyond.
Yes.
So there's a gift and a power to begin to acknowledge when that pull to contextual reality shows up, because it's gonna be there. So when you the moment you acknowledge it, it loses its power. Like you're like, oh, okay, this is what it is. Now what's true for me? Like what's available for me? What is it that I know? So what contextual reality are you using to create the unbelief and the impossible with all the 9 trannies for, yep, and everything that brings up where you destroy, that keeps you from being all the 9 trannies with total ease. Right and wrong, good and bad, pon poc, all 9 shorts, boys, povets, and beyonds.
Yeah. Wow. It's so funny too. There's like, sorry, it's big dumb.
No. Go.
Because what I was noticing is that in the contextual reality, sorry, let me see if I can put words to this, of trying to fill out these forms and trying to make sure that I got them right so I wouldn't get in trouble in this tiny little space. I was actually, what I was looking at was almost giving them the information to get me in trouble, to try and protect myself from getting into trouble, but it was all within. So I'm just looking at where, like, because I'm sure I'm not the only one who, go.
And being aware, is that part of the purpose of how they've laid everything out and how they word it? Yeah.
Yes. Oh, the lawyers, you mean themselves? Like, interesting. Oh, that's interesting.
Everything that doesn't allow you to ask, be, perceive, receive, be, know, perceive, and receive, but that ask as well, to see all the agendas, all the manipulation, all the truths and the lies here. And to have your total knowing, being, perceiving, and receiving, infinite knowing, perceiving, knowing, and receiving. Like we just trying to create all that. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, povets, and beyonds. Because the thing is, most of all of you wouldn't do that. You know, but you got to be willing to be aware of the people that are. Right? The structures and systems and all these ways. It's like, you know, and lawyers, insurance, I mean, what they would like to win and make some money off of you. Right?
Yeah.
And do they want to make you right, or do they want to make you wrong and find all the ways that they can make you wrong so that they could get more money? Okay, so who would you have to be willing to be? Yeah, to have your awareness of what's required here so it works out for you. And when it works out for you, like everywhere you think that excludes everyone and everything. Like where you go is all destroy and create all that. Yeah, right, wrong, good and bad, fun, fuck, all 9 shorts, boys, povets, and beyonds.
Yeah. It's been such a crazy facilitation too, in seeing what I'm guessing is an AI, like the trigger point to try to go as small as I can to hide as much as I can. And money's been a really big thing in my world recently too. And so even with this, I'm like, wow, like, you know, you hear about like millionaires, and I forget who it was who said that he wouldn't even invest in somebody who hadn't at least bankrupted 2 companies first. Cause like, that's where they learned like how to create companies. And yet this space of like, instead of going, okay, fuck it, you know, let's run forward. And I don't know, that just was kind of pinging with this impossibility too.
Yes. And the impossibility, how many of you have it as an impossibility that you actually don't know, don't perceive, perceive, be, know, and receive, or it's limited? So all the impossibilities of that keep you as a finite being, controllable, definable, will you destroy and uncreate all that?
Absolutely.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pon poc, all 9 shorts, boys, povets, and beyonds. I remember when I was getting a divorce, and Gary asked me, "Oh, are you willing to get half?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm willing to get half." So are you willing to get more than half? And I was like, "Oh no." But the gift of that question is that it had me begin to see like really where it was like wrong to be willing to get more than half. I wasn't before that question, aware of where my ex-husband was. So I couldn't see it.
Oh, wow.
Where he would come in as, trying to make it easy for me and presenting certain scenarios, but he was coming with the agenda of getting more than half. Yeah. So everywhere you are not willing to be a total manipulator, greedy guts, all of those terms that consider you taking advantage of someone, whether you choose it or not, but if you're not willing to be it, you will not see, perceive, know when it's presented.
Yeah.
So everything that is and everything that brings up, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good and bad, pun, puck, all 9 shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. So everywhere you think, they actually have your interest in mind. If they just want to get to the truth to figure out what would be the honest outcome for all. Is that true?
Yeah. Wow. No.
So everything that is and everything that brings up, right, wrong, good and bad, fun, puck, all 9 shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I was just wondering like what that, because there's a huge, like the moment I opened up the documents and I was reading them, like there was this huge intensity in my world of like maybe burning chair, like it felt like my body was on fire, and this almost like your body's on fire, but you're also in the middle of a windstorm, tornado, hurricane.
Yeah. So here's something that's just been more present with me recently. It's like let's take this situation in particular, and you guys have all had a moment or a space of this, but you start looking at things like, it's like, oh, it's my issue. This is something coming up for me. And even right now, what you're saying about the burning chair, the awareness. So what if we begin to look at, as things present themselves in our world, like, wow, what can I be? What can I ask to change this will actually change the world? Like your willingness to be in the question of anything, your willingness to ask for something that isn't just you, your willingness to now be in this question of being aware of all these energies that come up with this form, asking, okay, what is this? What do I do with it? Can I change it? And if so, how? What if like your willingness to look at that, be present with that, talk and pod that is actually changing what's available for all of us?
That's cool. That's really cool.
So everywhere you haven't been willing to go beyond the problem, the need, to look at what the gift is of you looking at this that would contribute to so many others. Like, does that change the game then? You're like, oh shit, all right, it's not just about me and my bank account and my, what I'm quote unquote feeling, experiencing. It's like, shit, this is up on the planet.
Wow. Yeah.
The gift of going, truth, does it belong to me? No, but you're aware of it. So is there something you can be to actually create something greater now with what's coming up for you?
Yeah. Yeah. It's really cool because I've had this weird like fear of lawyers and the law my whole life. And I get a lot of it as my mom, and she was a school teacher. And so there was always this like, well, I say so there was, but I get this was her as a school teacher, was always this like penetration into our worlds growing up, of like not getting into trouble. The image we had to be like, everybody's always watching because we went to the same school district that she did. So whatever we did reflected on her, kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But this like always like, and in her world, like this fear of authority, lawyers, police, like all this stuff that I'd used for so much of my life to literally be like the tiniest little blip on the radar, so that it's been, as this stuff has been pulling up, and it's cool that this is coming in now too. Because I'm like, wow, like this is showing me just another space where I've been at. And then the flip of it is that like when I was in a car accident that someone else caused, I still avoided I avoided my lawyers. I almost didn't even file the suit. And then it created a huge amount of income for me. And it was something that I from this like weird fear that I get is maybe actually like a bigger fear of like being almost or something.
So two things.
Yeah.
One is you just sharing what you chose before, and have you used that as now a new space that you can choose from, rather than reverting back to the fear, going, oh wait, I had chosen something different at one point. What was that space? What is it that I know? And then choosing from there. But it's also this space of like, I mean, what are you actually aware of here? Because it seems like, okay, it's just this accident, this lawyer, da da da. And yet now go bigger. Like, how much is that a part of what we've been entrained to fear? To limit what it is that we know, we can choose, what we can say, how we should act and behave. And I've been here in Colombia with Natalia's watching her daughters, and it's so fun to watch them at such a young age. It's like, no, like that's wrong. Like, nope, I'm not doing that. But they have such this like strongness in them to go like, no, like that's a no.
Oh,
And I was
cool.
like, wow, like I didn't have that. It's like, okay, whatever you say, to the certain authorities, whether it's teachers or something like that, and that willingness to go, something's off here, that strongness. So how many of you have given up that strength and that knowing to authority, to AI, and to anything else that keeps you from being all the 9 trannies and infinite knowing, perceiving, and receiving and being? So everything that is and everything that brings up, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yeah.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pan, pak, all 9 shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. And I'm gonna this part here, there was something else. Okay, I'll grab that, see if it pops later. But it's like, okay, what contextual reality are you using to create the unbelief or the impossibility of the demolecular manifestation and molecular demanifestation of transfiguration you are choosing and refusing? So everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yeah.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pan, pak, all 9 shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. So what contextual reality are you using to create the unbelief and the impossible of demolecular manifestation and molecular demanifestation of transfiguration you are choosing and refusing? So everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yeah.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pan, pak, all 9 shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. I'm looking at some of my notes here. So what else is possible if you, this is like the willing to explore, like, okay, if all of this, like whatever you're aware of that's not light and expansive, going, okay, if all of this was a lie, if all of it, what you're feeling, like you said, fear, and then like making yourself small, and even the story, you have a childhood, and even your mother, like if all of it was a lie. And it reminds me of, the latest Matrix movie. If you guys haven't seen it, I recommend it because it takes another twist where it's as if he was out of the Matrix, and yet, like, it just has another twist on what we make real and not real. And then what you think is real, and then it's not, and you're like, it takes another layer. So it's like, okay, if all of it was a lie, then what? Then what could you choose? Would you choose? What would you be aware of? What would you like it to be? What would you ask for? If all of it was a lie, and you're the creator of what you can ask for, it's like, what would you like to ask for? What would you be aware of? What are those AIs that have been put in place so that you get to feel, think, believe what they want you to feel, think, and believe, so that then you're controllable? Yeah.
Yeah.
So everywhere that's been implanted or explanted as your reality, that's not. Will you? It's almost like that cord in the Matrix, right? Where they would have put in the back, like you actually just, and it's almost gruesome, right? Because you're like,
Yeah.
it's like when they pull it out, like it's like this long tube of like, that
Well,
goes deep into your, body and throat, all of that's like, oh, so that willingness to pull it out, like, but you know, it's not going to be comfortable. It's going to be a little, that willingness to be uncomfortable, like, you know, fuck, then what? That's been the source of my living. That's been the source of my reality. Like, I don't know how to function without that. I don't know how to function without that. I don't know how to
I don't know how
function
to
without
function
that.
without that. I don't know how to function without that. I don't know how to function without that. I
So
don't
all
know
this
how to
just stick
function
you
without that.
implants and implants. Yeah. Holding any and all of that in place. Well, you destroy and uncreate it all.
Yeah.
Right and wrong, good and bad, fun, fuck, all nine, shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. So what do you know? And where do we all, what tools are you using? Because this is like, yes, we're talking about the 9Trannies, but fuck, it's everything. It's our daily living. Where do you go to actually, do you go somewhere to actually have a sense of what's true for you? Where do you guys go? How do you determine what's true for you?
Well, you know, it's funny you say that, and I'm like, outside of myself, of course.
Right. Yeah. So where do the rest of you go? Do you go to your brain to try to figure it out? Where do you go? So everywhere you go somewhere rather than being with you and what you know. And maybe this is why that exercise of relaxing your asshole can really contribute. Because how many of us eject ourselves from our body to try to figure out what it is that we know when you actually know? And it's an intensity and a relaxation all at the same time. So everywhere you have been resisting, avoiding, and defending that space, well, you destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good and bad, fun, pock, all nine shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. So many of us have these coping mechanisms that we've created to handle these situations. You know, whether you go to pathetic or you go to fear or you go to whatever it is that you choose to get out of being present to what it is that you know. And hey, I'm right there with you guys. I was catching myself with certain things. I was like, wow, interesting. Like, what am I actually creating with this choice? And just kind of observing my choice and going, all right, that is one choice. It's not right or wrong. All of us, like if we actually got no choice is right or wrong, none. If you were to let go of the judgment of your choice, the amount of freedom you will have and the invitation to being more aware than you thought you could be will be bigger than probably what any of us have experienced so far. But if we truly get no choice is right or wrong, none.
Yeah. And that
But
like nothing.
Go ahead.
Well, I've heard Gary and Dane say this so many times, but it's like even if you die, even if your body dies, like you still have your being, and that whatever that like that implanted fear or what, like of, because if I look at this or anything with law and authority, it's like I'm like, what's the thing I'm actually afraid of here? And then is that even true? Like, okay, cool. So let's say they did not, like, you know, whatever happens, like I'm still bigger than all of it. But the lie is that it will kill me or it will take me out, like whatever that is. And so,
yes.
Yeah, it's been a fucking facilitation.
Yeah, it is. And I might have shared here the whole thing about my ticket, my speeding ticket. You remember that story?
Maybe.
I had a speeding ticket in Texas, and it was like, you realize we could take you to jail for this. It was a school zone. It was an active school zone, school hours, and I was more than double the speed. So, but it really, that I had not had anything in my life up until that point for a very long time that I was shrinking every time the topic came up. And I was like, what the hell is this? This is not the space of me. Like, what if I made bigger? And I actually don't call Gary very much for a whole lot of things. I called Gary, I called David Kubis. It's like, help, what is this? And I'm so grateful because Gary doesn't have any charges. Like, okay, you know, I'm all, you know, were you doing that speed? And I was like, no, less than that. Okay, then do this and that. But then at the end, I got to that space. It was like, All right, so I'll pay the fine. Okay, if I was going to go to jail, then what? Okay, and if my insurance goes up, okay, so I just got to make way more money to have way more ease with this. Okay. And then it was like, fuck, I let that keep me small. And then I realized it wasn't even my point of view. And it was not my point of view. Because when I got to what was true for me, there was a lightness like, all right, like, oh, that's the space in me. So where have you given up you, and what is it that you know, be, know, perceive for anyone else, whether they be an authority or not? Your boyfriend, your lover, your mom, your dog, like what are you, where and with who are you giving up your reality to? If it's not light and expansive, I'm sorry, you have given something up to someone or something. So everything that doesn't allow all of us to be, know, perceive, and receive. It's like the awareness and also the choice. It's not right or wrong if you give it up to someone, but that to acknowledge you are choosing to. So what else is possible now? What could you ask for? So with the 9 trannies, it is a question. It is a request. So, afterwards, then I got into the fun of it, and I'm like, well, what could I change with the paperwork and what people see or don't see? Like,
ooh, that's fun.
You can have things disappear, not be seen, show something different. But that's the willingness to have the 9 trannies. So everything that brought up, we destroy and create it all.
Yeah.
Right and wrong, good and bad, fun, POC, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. So if we bring it back to transfiguration here, it's like, okay, transfiguration is the ability to change the way something looks to something different. So ask for the transfiguration you truly be. That's part, this 9 tranny is really the way you do it in the physical realities, how you get to transfigure something. This willingness to change how something looks into something greater and better or more dynamic, or to transfigure your body, by the clothes you choose to wear them all. That'll changes everything. You put something on that feels better, does that change the shape of your body? Have you guys acknowledged that? Have you experienced that? When you put something on, I was like, whoa. I went shopping here in Colombia, and there was this one dress I saw in this tall, slender, beautiful lady. And I thought, oh, that's gorgeous. And Natalia was with me, and she's like, try it on. I'm thinking, you realize I'm not slender and I'm not tall. Like, it was like, that looks good over there. So I'm like, fine. I was going to play. We were in this, beautiful shop. I put it on, that long dress fit my body perfect. And the curves that showed up, I was like, that's not good. But this willingness to go, wow, it seems so simple, and yet we're not willing to be in the question with their body. What would you like to wear? What would you enjoy that will transfigure your body? So this physical part that we get to see when we're willing to ask for transfiguration. And this is the part with, look at your spaces. I think you might have been talking about your space last time too, Hope. But I've noticed I've shifted things in my space in California, and it has such a different energy that I gift to it and it gifts to me. So everywhere you guys are refusing to receive the energy of transfiguration that it contributes to you, your body, possibilities, and that you gift to it, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yeah.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pun, POC, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. So what is it that you can be asked for that will transfigure? And you name it. What would you like to change? But not from the wrongness of it. It's simply the play of knowing you can ask and receive. Notice, here's a play, a home play. Oh,
sorry,
one second.
If it's in the last 3-day body class, it's passed with my body that I like pregnant. No, when can you how can you use it to my favor? O sea, ¿cómo puedo usar a mi favor en lugar de o sea, que sufrí, ¿no?
Okay, but she's bringing up, how do I use this, my favorite, with an area that I was suffering, with something I was suffering. Suffering only comes when you do not know you have choice. So in that experience, and how many of you experience this physical reality in areas either with your body, your living situation, or what your finances, and it's that presumptive reality, it is what it is, and you do not have choice. I almost want to say think you don't have choice, but it does show up as you think it's a knowing. So suffering, thank you for the quote, Simone. Suffering only comes when you don't know you have choice, because you think you don't have choice, but you don't even think you know you don't have choice. Does that make sense? It's not even you think, you're like, I know I don't have choice. So right now, even with this story that we opened up with, hope, it's like, you don't, like, it's like, Sylvia, you don't understand. This is not only I think, this is like embedded in my blood and in my cells, that I know authority is authority, and I'm going to get into trouble if I'm not honest and true here. That's the power of the presumptive reality. Yeah. So pot and pock, before, after, during, keep pot and pock in all the PRs, all the NORs and the NOR slimes around all of this, and see what else shows up. Because right now it physically you can feel it. Do you notice that? Like, it's a feeling of like, no, Sylvia, you know, if
Your sound is gone.
Yeah, Sylvia, sorry, you cut out. Can you hear us? Can't hear you.
No sound. You have your earbuds on?
Can you hear me talking? There's no.
Right when she gets to a really good part.
I apologize, guys. Whatever I'm unwilling to hear
Okay.
right now. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
You guys got me. Thank you, Hope.
I know that whatever I'm unwilling to hear.
But there goes the questions. Well, everything I'm not willing to hear. Like, it sounds so simple and almost silly to ask for that, but questions, I'm exploring that more. It's like, wow, questions really. So all the presumptive realities that you have, that questions don't actually do anything, create anything, and all the NORs and the NOR slimes, yeah. At least they don't for you, but maybe someone else. So you just trying to create all that.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
wrong, good and bad, bad and back, all 9 shorts, boys, povets, and beyonds. Well, maybe nobody wants my home play. That's what it is. No.
What was it?
I was all like, what if we could play with like different things that we can transfigure? So what if we played with our wallets? So whether it's right now, later, whatever, it's like, pull out your wallet. Like, what is the energy with your wallet? How is your money in your wallet? Like, play with, okay, how much money does your wallet want to carry that would have it transfigure what it's willing to gift you and receive? Or wallets, maybe you have more than one, but play with it. It's like, all right. Just, I thought you asked for have there tomorrow, 2,000 arrows. Hey, like, it's so funny. Someone was talking about they came from Brazil. Oh, it's still like coming from Brazil to Bogota for these classes we had. And her point of view was money. And then when she finally went to question, money showed up she didn't know she had, and more than what she needed. And then realized that she could then use that money for something else. Like, she used, got here and what it created to be here and everything else. But it's like those conclusions that we have that limit what we can ask for. Well, yeah, it's like the joy of living fucking not there, and life sucks, and you're suffering when there's no joys. It's like, I don't know about you, but that's not the playground I want to play at. It's like, and I still wonder what other areas, am I not willing to ask and receive, but not from the wrongness. It's like, all right, universe, what else have I not been willing to be aware of with my body? Body, show me gently, please. Or, business, show me. Like, what could I actually gift and receive? And what could I transfigure here? Okay, we have another question.
Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome. Thank you. Yay.
Hello.
Hello.
I was kind of bit getting confused about the difference between transfiguration and transmogrification when you've been talking about bodies. And then at the same time, it kind of like got into question because I do since January have an issue with my body, like it's like playing crazy in a way. And so I was like, wow, where did I have the conclusion that I have to take it like that without asking any questions and just, keep keep following the recommendations of the doctors. So like,
And right there, that energy, I don't know if you guys all picked it up. She says, when I did that, I just have to take it like that. So all the presumptive realities that you have to take life as it comes, take what's happening as it comes, and you have no choice to change it. Yeah, so all the PRs, NORs, and NOR slams, yeah, holding all of that in place. Will you now revoke, recant, rescind, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all of that for all eternity, please?
yes.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. Okay, now I'm going to invite you to relax and receive more of that and what it can open up. Okay, so everything that is right and wrong, good and bad, fun, fuck, all 9 shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. And everywhere you guys were all taught, like good little girls and good little boys, to just take it.
Yeah, and be patient. This is something that kind of like has been told to me, and I was like, but I don't want to be patient anymore.
Yeah. So was that kind of patience more like shut up and take it? Or was it truly the space of patience of things will and change?
It's rather the second one you said.
Okay, cool. So everything that is and everything that brings up, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pon, pock, all 9 shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. So truth, what does patience mean to you?
Just never getting there.
Okay, everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pon, pock, all 9 shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. And what else does patience mean to you?
Oh, interesting. What just pops is like getting out of control or losing control over the issue.
Okay, so everything that is, everything that is, we destroy and uncreate it all. Yeah. Right and wrong, good and bad, pun, pock, all 9 shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. It's interesting because as we know now, patience is one of the elementals. And yet there's a patience of knowing that you've asked and you receive, right? Ask and you shall receive. And yet there's also a patience that has a different energy, almost as if, okay, you asked once, don't ask anymore. Like now just be
Exactly.
patient and take it as it comes.
Exactly. And I have just right now I have an experience that shows me that this first way of patience you described is happening right now. Last Thursday, in my apartment, the warm water machine was broken, and we had a long weekend. We had Monday was a bank holiday in Germany, and I knew they not gonna fix it that quickly. So we are still without warm water, but I didn't have to do anything else but calling my landlord, and they just took care of everything. So the guy was there today, he was checking, and he said, oh, we have to change it, it's going to happen tomorrow, so tomorrow we are going to have warm water again. And I was patient with that, because I just knew, because I was asking once that happened, how much ease can I have with that, and how easy I can just, you know, have all these things being handled without me taking and needing to take any action any further. And this is happening, and this is the patience I can bring up. But with the other issue, it's just like, there is something about it. I know that it's just not being patient.
Okay.
Sorry for me
Okay. So
talking
everything,
quick.
no. So everything that is, yeah, everything there. Okay. Everything that is, well, you destroy and uncreate it all. Just to
Yes.
destroy and uncreate everything that's glumped and not having clarity on what is the difference there with those two for you. So everything that is right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, povets, and beyonds. You know, it's almost like that space of where, okay, I can have magic. I can have, you know, some money show up on the floor, maybe a
Yeah,
quarter,
and
and maybe
that's happening too.
cool. And yet, so, you know, then I can handle, you know, this part with, you know, the hot water. Yeah. But now, Sylvia, you're on another playing field, because you're talking about my body. So everything that is, yep, and all the presumptive realities you have about bodies, your body, being embodied, of what's possible, not possible, real and unreal. It keeps you from having and being all of what you can be, ask for, and change. It keeps you from acknowledging that everything is malleable.
Yeah, it
Or
kind
you
of,
destroy and uncreate it all.
yeah.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. So that brings me to this piece that I had. Okay, there's 2 parts. I wanted to. So let me go here, then there, and then back to what's coming up for you. So you had asked about transmogrification. It's the ability to change the way you look for something different. And then we're talking about today of transfiguration. It's the ability to change the way something looks to something different.
Yes.
So it's still this part of changing the molecules of something. One of the examples that's come up, it's just like looking at the castle, like how much the castle, if you guys are familiar with the castle movie, how much transfiguration was there, like how much was actually changed in the way it looked into something different, right? Your body actually changing with the things that you wear, where transmogrification is the ability to change the way you look for something different. So where you can change yourself, look more like a man than a woman, or like this willingness to, you know, we were at this restaurant event yesterday where we had this gentleman as a Mexican mariachi, and yet he's from Colombia, and he like was able to totally transmogrify to be the energy of a mariachi beautifully. Like, I mean, he did a phenomenal job. His voice, his presence, his stand, his movements, all of that to be that. Talk about a great entertainer, right? And then I actually got to see him at the end without his mariachi costume on, and it was a different energy. And I thought, oh, you know, everywhere we define this is it because I see it. No, it's just an ability to change and be something different, right?
Mm.
So it's like, wow, what a gift, what a capacity. So now looking at, okay, transfiguration, it's like, what would I like to change? Like in that case, his body, his height, all of that looked different. When he was out of that, it's like, oh, it's a whole different energy, right? So, you know, I'm going to ask more about that, and I'm just going to plug in here that, you know, there is a 9Trannies class coming up with Gary, Dane, and Simone, because there is, you're right, it's very close to similar, and yet there is, one of the ones that I experienced before Gary asked me to facilitate this series, that is part of what contributed, I get, for him asking me to facilitate it, was that there were several 9 trannies that I had experienced and lived, and this was one of them. It was transfiguration, transmogrification, where I did something, and it was the request and the demand in that moment to totally change of who I be and what I looked for it by other people. So that's that transmogrification. And I know without a doubt, it was almost like there would have been a camera, I'm sure there would have been a change. You know, just like the X-Men movie when she does that complete change into something else. I know that with beyond a doubt. Like, can I explain how? No, but there was the energy of the knowing and the demand of this needs to occur, like now. And I had put myself in a certain situation where that demand was there. Now, transfiguration is the willingness to also transform how something looks. So, you know, play with it in your home. And it's an energy, but it's also a physical form. It's like play with one space in your room. It's like, wow, can I transfigure this room to look greater and better?
That's such a good hint. You know, I was just right before you said that thinking about transforming my bathroom.
Yes.
That's so funny.
And what would it like to be? But yes, so everywhere that doesn't look like you can do that with your body. So go in your closet, everyone, and play with picking out 3-4 different outfits. Body, what would you like? And put them on and see what changes. Look in the mirror, it's the same you, quote unquote, and what contribution is different clothes. I mean, notice it.
Yes.
But how many of us are like, no, that's not me, so I won't put that on and I wouldn't do that. It's like, you get to play with all of that. You know, I think it might have been Hope who talked about one day where she had put on certain clothes to go out. It was like, okay, that gets to be an energy. But then we refuse to receive the energy that comes from that. So what are you refusing to receive with the transfiguration you have not been willing to be and choose? So everything that is and everything that brings up, we're just trying to create it all.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pun, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. So with your body, is there a presumptive reality that is something you can't change because that is real?
The perception I get is it's like a punishment.
Yeah.
For a decision I have made.
Okay. So are you punishing yourself with this? Did you judge a choice?
Yes.
Yeah. And so how long would you like to punish you for?
I would like to stop it right now.
Are you sure you don't need another month, 2 months, a year?
No.
Lose a limb?
No.
So how many punishments do you all have? All the presumptive realities that you have that you need to punish you so that you learn your lesson. Wow, well, you all destroy and create all that. And all the Norse and Norse slimes with all of that, right and wrong, good and bad, fun, black, 9 shorts, boys, poets, and beyond. So what's the gift of your choice?
More
that you haven't
space.
acknowledged? Cool. Right, wrong, good and bad, fun, black, all 9 shorts, boys, poets, and beyond. And what's the no gift of your choice?
I don't get what no gift means.
Cool. So everything that is, we just try and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, fun, pack, all 9 shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds. So truth, can everything be a gift if you choose?
Yes.
Even what you're experiencing right now.
Yes, it actually gives me the awareness how much judgment I still have about it.
Cool. So thank you. And what else is possible now? Everything that is and everything that brings up. Right and wrong, good and bad, fun, pack, all 9 shorts, boys, povettes, and beyonds. See, my battery's going low. Cool. So let me just put this in real quick. So what else? What else is there?
Still like a disgusting taste in this issue. I don't know how to put it into better words.
Yeah.
It's just like there is
Okay.
something.
So everything that is, and everything that doesn't allow you to be, know, perceive, and receive what's there for you, like what's true for you and what are you aware of. So everything that is right and wrong, good and bad, fun, fun, all 9 shorts, boys, povettes, and beyonds. It's interesting because you said taste, and how many people have that sense of like that disgust when something's just so awful. So all the disgust and the awfulness of everything that's going on right now with your body that has you be in disgust. And is there resentment or separation with your body with all of this? Will you destroy and uncreate all that times the gods?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pun, puck, all 9 shorts, boys, povettes, and beyonds. I'm not sure if it was the last call. Someone mentioned it's like, or asked me, it's like, wow, is the body a big part of having and being the 9 trannies?
Yeah, Punan asked that.
Yeah. So it's like, what do you know? And everywhere you're using your body as the reason and justification to keep you from being all the 9 trannies, will you now destroy and uncreate all that?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, fun, fuck, all 9 shorts, boys, povettes, and beyonds.
It's just like there's a big invitation to get more into, yeah, to melt into my body.
Yes, and that exercise that you'll find, in a 3-day body manual, it might be, is it anywhere else in another manual? But the one where you start to perceive yourself outside your body and having the awareness of your body and your being and your awareness of it, and just keep expanding that and that, and then turn around and look at your body and ask, where are you? Are you in your body? You? Because there's that willingness to be embodied and be in communion with your body. What if that doesn't separate you from being everywhere also? Yeah, so everything that is, and everything that brings up, we just try and uncreate it all.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pun, puck, all 9 shorts, boys, povettes, and beyond. Cool.
I just got that. I kind of like always thought it's either this or that. So being embodied or being expanded out, but you cannot have it both.
Okay, so everything that is, and all the presumptive realities that you can't have it great in every area of your life. Yep, and you can't have both. Yep, embodied and space. Well, you destroy and uncreate all that.
Yes.
And all the Norse and the Norse slimes, you're right and wrong, good and bad, fun, fuck, all 9 shorts, boys, povettes, and beyonds. So what if you could? What if you can? Now it's just a choice, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a play. It's just like, yeah, playing, experiencing with it. And thank you for the reminder. It just like my whole body just lightened up right now.
And here I'm going to share with you, for you and all of us, as a reminder too, that when you're in upset or worry, whether it's paperwork you got to fill out, whether it's something that's going on with your body, that is a big flag that you're in contextual reality. Contextual reality. Because if you're actually willing to know that you have a question and can change things with a question, you will not function in contextual reality. You are functioning in non-contextual reality beyond this reality. Okay, so just catch yourself, be gentle with you. It's like, oh, great, okay. And then we have such this new gift with, you know, the PRs and the NORs and the NOR slimes, because the SNOR slimes are all those automatic response systems that keep us going back to
I
the
just-
judging of us.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just heard about this morning for the first time. I was listening to a call of Dane, and I was like, "What is no slime actually?"
Yes. So that it's been interesting to see the shift since the beginning of the years, having the presumptive realities, and then the NORs came out, all those need of reactive realities, and then the NOR slimes showed up. I think it was a Creative Edge call, where it's like, whoa, there's another layer. But the gift of all of that is now we have this at our fingertips, or our, you know, to be willing to be in question and start to clear these. Fuck, it will be unreal. It will be unreal if you start to destroy and uncreate all of those for everything, anything, everything. All right. You know, you don't have to have them figured out. That's the other one that had come up. And it was that all those places we go to figure out. Transfiguration is not figuring things out. It's actually allowing yourself to be in the question and the ask of what you would like to change. Cool.
Thank you.
Maybe that's the patience, because
Yeah.
so many of us think that if we go here, it's different, but that'll be faster.
Yeah,
Maybe.
there's when it comes to my body, it's always like, you know, I cannot do this on my own thing.
Wow. Okay, say that. Well, okay, so what about that? What do you mean I can't do this on my own? What is that for you?
Like there needs somebody who has got a clue about bodies, how they work, and so I cannot really, you know, this like self-diagnosing things and not really having a clue about anatomics and, you know, all this complicated
So
stuff going on.
is that the lie? Because this is where it's so interesting of what when you said that, like there was a truth with a lie attached, like I can't do it on my own. Are you doing anything on your own? Like all the definitions of doing it on my own and the separation that creates from every single molecule on the planet that's gifting you. If you guys haven't signed up for Dane and Simone's call on the 4th, their free call, maybe we can put it in the chat so people, because that's one that requires registration, but they're talking about, so what's the title? It was like, but receiving the gifts of the universe. It's like the gifts are all around us all the time, every single molecule, from this table, this chair, my computer, the lights, the trees behind, it's all. So if I'm asking a question, what if everything's contributing all the time? So when you say doing it on my own, and many of us have been taught, do it on your own, like that's supposed to be a strength and a power. And it's a lie.
Yeah.
Like nothing is separate. So everywhere you've excluded the contribution that the universes have for you by the mere request and question that you be, will you destroy and uncreate all that?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pun, pock, all 9 shorts, boys, povets, and beyonds. So if we kind of go back to the basics of access, you know, a question will empower, a conclusion disempowers. So what is the question truly creating? That you show all your certifications of how you can justify what you know? Or does the question truly allow you to tap into the awareness of everything you've ever known and can know, perceive, receive, and be? Yeah, so what if you started to ask a question from that and begin to trust that you're receiving? And maybe that's the patience.
Yeah.
And there's a piece I want to read. It says, living in the question means inviting the universe to support you by asking unlimited questions. Everything in the universe is conscious, and every molecule that exists will help support you. Science tells us that when we look at a molecule, we change its structure. Just by the act of looking at it. The consciousness of molecules contributes to us. Contribution is part of their nature. If we don't understand that we have an impact on every molecule we come into contact with, we will not allow molecules to contribute to us, and we will not receive what molecules are trying to give us. Living in the question is the opposite of trying to figure things out. When you try to work out the way you are going to make something happen, you go into figuring out the answer rather than inviting the universe to provide infinite possibilities. Don't try to figure things out. Your mind is a dangerous thing. If you can only define what you already know, it cannot be infinite and unlimited. Whenever you have an answer, that's the sum total of what can show up for you. But when you ask an unlimited question like, what would it take for blank to show up? You invite the universe to support you in ways you haven't even imagined. So what if we explored that? And that's the title, thank you. The title of Simone and Gary Dane's call on the 4th is Truly Receiving the Contribution the Universe is Gifting You. So what if you just ask, wow, what's the contribution the universe is gifting me today that I have been refusing to receive? That if I no longer refuse to receive it, would allow everything I'm asking for to show up with more ease than I can imagine. Yeah, cool. And I love it too, because we just had Dane's SOP in Mexico City. And just acknowledging more that gift of our touch, but it's not even the touch. He's having us do exercise where it's like, do nothing, stand there. And you're like, oh, wait, shouldn't I be doing something? You know, and it's like, no, do nothing. It's like you begin to acknowledge that your being is this incredible space. Now, if you touch someone, yeah, that's, you know, another possibility of change and invitation. But let's play with being that. So right now, what are we all being that you could receive that would contribute to you and your body? Cool. For all of us, like, wow. That willingness to receive, you know, we may only be at a fraction of exploring that power. And what if we just keep going?
Yeah, thank you.
Just keep going. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Miss Simone Zucker. Hola, chica.
Hola, hola. So I had that Controsaurus was like amazing. And yesterday we got to play with one of, like, I'm not even naming the person, and her horse, and like everything is also pretty new for her. Like we got her from the field on the launch, like it was like miraculous. Like we created really, like at a certain point, like let's invite the elementals, like let's add lust and humor, probably that will work, you know, like how can we seduce the horse? You know, yeah, that was a whole thing. And then I guess we did also a lot just from not knowing what's supposed to do. We just played, but then we tried to launch it. It worked, but like with one direction, the horse was not willing to go so well. But I saw there was something I needed to get somehow. Like it was a play, it was a discovery. Like in my world, there was a curiosity, but the other person took it as a wrongness. I make the horse wrong. I'm like, I had nothing on the horse, and then I could see like, wait, and I bought into her thing. Like, but in the play, I was like, wait a second. For me, there was not even wrongness. For me, there was a curiosity, and I would like to play until I come to the, yeah, we get it, you know, like to that click. But then we stopped kind of in the middle because there was that huge wrongness circling and that clearing. Like for me, it was not even something to clear.
What's so interesting, and this is the gift of facilitating as well. It's, you know, access is empowering you to know that you know, right? And you know, I have to also, as I facilitate, am I truly in the question to be with whatever the person's willing to receive, right? Not about I have the awareness or I know more, because that sticks people, right? And if nothing was right or wrong, the gift of a question, a true question to someone, is that they will open up to perceive, know, be, and receive what they can be, know, perceive, and receive in that moment.
I mean,
Now,
I
one
was
of the
launching. It was like I was in the middle
Yeah.
and kind of, and she protected the horse, and like, but did I do something to the horse? Like, and then I get all, yeah, I went with her
Yes.
reality and lost, like,
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And that was the gift of what I've been witnessing with, you know, Natalia's daughters. Is like, they're not going to go. And it almost seems rude. Like, we've been trained, like, that's rude. You got to go with authority, or you got to go with what facilitator says. Even Gary, like the gift of him willing to say whatever he's willing to say doesn't mean believe him. You got the power, and the gift is that he's going to say whatever he's going to say for you to actually get to what you know that's true. And if that means you go away from access thinking he told you something, and then I met someone recently, or saw someone that they had stepped away and then just came back, and they were like, well, Gary had them. Like, did he? Or is he inviting to what you're receiving right now, that you actually know what you know, and you will never give that away, not even to him?
Yeah.
So what a gift, right?
Yeah.
And
to
that
see
willingness.
like how subtle the judgments oftentimes are.
Yeah.
Like, and it looks like awareness, but it was not. And then we all played the game of judgment instead of like really go to question.
So what is, and that's the gift of the 4 questions. What is this? Can we, you know, what do we do with it? Okay, maybe
Yeah.
it's nothing. Can we change it? No. Okay. It's not
Like, I
wrong
was
that you
just
can't
so
change
like,
something in the moment.
how much
So where
wrongness have I
else?
bought? Yeah. To me,
Yeah,
it was just
go for
how
it.
much wrongness have I bought as me being wrong, where I was just so curious. But for another person, it looked like I make something wrong. But I was just in question, like, what needs to change? Where,
So
how can I get there?
what would it been like? This is for all of us. What would it be like to go, actually, that's not what I'm getting?
It
Can
took
you
me
ask
just
me a different
wrong.
question?
You know,
Right.
like,
But this is the part that it's like, and the gift that is, you know, I was in class just yesterday or the day before, and there was, you know, I was asking questions, and the lady would go, no. Someone else, you know, asked something. It's like, she's like, no, that's not quite it. And then when it finally was true for her, it's boom.
yeah.
If someone asks you a question and you're starting to go that way, but it's not a boom, something's not true. You guys have witnessed it either here in another class. When someone gets to what's true and it unlocks something, it's like, oh, fuck, you know, it doesn't always make sense, but there's a lightness and a space to that. So cool. You have a new gift and a new awareness. When you're giving up, you're knowing. How
Yeah.
does it get any better than that?
And also
And
the
that,
willingness to be judged. Yeah. Like that, I can also
yeah,
see, like, there was a situation in the plane, like, what a cunt, putting the bag, the seats back and then laying, like, leaving us notes when I was like, okay, let's split into. I was just like, there's no right, no, I can be also mean. If you do like a shit move like this, watch me.
yeah, you get to play.
Yeah, there's
But
no
the
judgment. It's just like, what will this create, you know? Yeah.
but that huge awareness, how many of you, you know, have been judged for being curious? You know, how much gaslighting have you guys all received for asking too many questions, for being curious? And, well, you sure? Like, what about this? What about that? Like,
Oh my God.
you're not
I just,
following. Yeah, go ahead.
I got just was something else, because I thought I stopped to be curious, because I guess I have that misidentified, like being wrong and curious is the same, or it was the same. Like there was something mixed and scrambled, like, oh my, I'm not curious about anything, but with the horse, I was like, what is required for this to work, you know? Oh my God, that's a biggie for me here.
Yeah, and if we're actually going to create a reality beyond this reality, We're going to have to be curious and ask questions that we haven't ever imagined asking.
Yeah. Sorry for interrupting, but it was, oh my God.
No, awesome. I'm grateful. But this is the part, it's like, okay, what's the gift in all of this? Yeah. What is the gift?
Wow. So next time when wrongness comes, I can ask, is there something I'm really curious about?
Yeah. What is this? Period.
Yeah.
Because even going to what am I curious about, it's still a definition that you being curious rather than what is this? Am I being curious? Something else? Like really inviting that addition pieces, it's this or something else. Then you can follow that web. And even when it gets there, it's like, cool. And what else? What else is possible now?
I had
Like
it like
never going to the definition.
I had an X-Men class last week. And like after the first evening, I did it like 2.5 days. There was such a wrongness in my world, but I knew I did not do anything wrong. There was just like wrong. And like, okay, whatever that is, how much stronger can I be? Like, yes,
Bring it on.
wrong, good, whatever it is, wrong, more wrong. And then the day after, like 2 of the participants fighted, and I like, oh wow, there is the wrongness. And I did not handle it from the one person's point of view correctly, which is like, I'm not cutting the class for your point of view.
And here is another reminder. As you continue to be in the question and choose beyond the contextual reality, beyond, more into the non-reality reality that is possible, you are wrong. You guys are wrong.
Yeah.
Like you will be wrong because the AIs and everything are pulling you like, no, don't go there, don't ask, don't change that. You can't, you won't, all the things that will come up. It's like, all right, the willingness to be wrong, the willingness to make a mistake, the willingness to fuck it up. It's like that. That's why I love like those little pieces that Gary after class. Now go. What does he say? Now go be bad. It's way more fun than being good. It's like that invitation to step out of the judgment of being good. I love Jenny. I've been wrong a lot lately. Yeah. Like who was it that said? I think it was Hope who also talked about that someone would never work with someone or lend them money or do business if they haven't been bankrupt twice. It's like the people that actually are creating more are willing to fuck it up and be wrong. So it's like, okay, where are you guys controlling what you could be choosing and being? Because you're trying to still get it right. So all the polarities of right and wrong, good and bad that you're still functioning on, and all the PRs and the NORs and the NOR slime that are holding all of that, will we all destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pun, pock, all 9 shorts, boys, povets, and beyonds. We're going to add one more thing, Simone? Good?
Yeah, like empowered people you cannot control. Like
happy empowered people. Don't forget every now and then let your face know it.
Yeah, that's so cool. And like I could see like, okay, this is just the energy of wrong. I'm not believing that shit anymore. Like, nah, I'm not wrong. Yep. Whatever that is, hi. You can be here, I don't care. Like, I'm not buying into you.
Yep.
Not today.
And, no, thank you. I'll receive it. And yep, thank you. Hashtag not my problem.
That's like not working, but if you desire, go for it. I receive it.
And Hope says here, yeah, history doesn't remember the people who did things the same as everyone else. Cool. So thank you so much for that. And thank you all, because there's this part that just, I'd like to, here's another clearing. So what generative energy, space, and consciousness can you now be that would allow you to be the potency of transfiguration in all the 9 trannies you truly be? And anything that doesn't allow that times the Godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it all. Right and around, good and bad, POD, POC, all 9 shorts, boys, povets, and beyond. What generative energy, space, and consciousness can you be that would allow you to be the potency of transfiguration in all 9 trannies you truly be? And it's not about trying to figure it out. Just ask. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD, POC, all 9 shorts, boys, povets, and beyond. It's a lot easier than we're making it. Ask. Go enjoy life. Be, choose, receive, go, play, ask, be, know, perceive, receive. And there's never an end. Never, ever, ever an end. There's always more. But you're not wrong. for whatever you're at, whatever you're choosing right now. We are not fucking wrong. We are not. Even when you don't go to question, you're still not wrong. Sorry, hashtag still not wrong. Just know, and within every space of your cells and every molecule, know that you always have another choice, that you get to ask to create whatever it is you'd like to create and transfigure now and in the future. So thank you, thank you, thank you all so very much. Enjoy you, enjoy your body, and have way more fun. And play with transfigurations. Like, wow, what could I transfigure today? Like, what could I actually change to look better and greater? That then invites you to receive. As you contribute, receive. And what have you already transfigured you haven't acknowledged? And please play with your closet exercise. Go into your closet, just notice and ask what would actually contribute to you in your body. Just notice the difference. Try on a couple and actually receive what that actually changes in your body. Okay? You get to explore and play with this capacity that you have. And then, yeah, whether it's a space somewhere in your home, your wallet, by the way you be with it, what could you change? Is it the order, the sequence you put your bills, how you lay your cards? Like, what could you transfigure that when you open it up every time, it's going to be a totally different energy of what you can gift and receive. And I wonder what else beyond what we're even saying, being, perceiving, knowing, and receiving right now. Ask for way more. So thank you all. Have a beautiful rest of your day. We will see you once the next week. Someone will put it in the chat. But I think, yeah, we have 2 more calls and we'll see you on another part of the world. And until next time, enjoy you and all of you. Ciao, everybody. Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye and thank you.